Welcome back to Season 5 of the What Do We Do podcast. I'm your host, Dewey Steffen, and I'm so excited to be back. And to kick things off, we're literally going back to school, diving into the world of college athletics and beyond with a special guest episode we've titled D1 101, The Road to Going Pro. For today's episode, the students literally will teach the class, and we're joined by 4 exceptional Division I student athletes to teach the class.
Do I really love it? Do I really love this? Or would I rather be, living a normal high school, living a normal college life? You know what I mean?
Never take your time in your sport for granted because tomorrow's not promised.
Just trust the process, put the work in. If you're willing to make those sacrifices, I think good things are gonna come.
You should go for what you can get now. Get that and then still be able to get better and produce yourself.
Together, we'll explore their unique journeys, from balancing academics and athletics to navigating major NIL deals to ultimately going pro. Because as a team, together, everyone achieves more. Are you ready? Well, it's going to be a great show, so let's go. I'm your host, Dewey Steffen, and this is another guest episode. Teammates, welcome to the show.
Appreciate it.
And who better than all of you to give us the insight and to teach today's class. So with that, we're going to have you introduce yourselves and let our audience know who you are, where you go to school, what year you are, what sport you play, and what position. And let's start over here.
Hi, my name is Isaiah Jones. I go to Oakland University. I'm a junior. Play basketball for Oakland, and I'm a guard or small forward.
All right, well, thank you for that. Isaiah Jones, great to meet you. And right here?
I'm Olivia Sipstock. I go to Eastern Michigan. I'm a sophomore. I play soccer, and I'm a forward.
Fantastic. And right over here?
I'm Paulie Fortino. I go to the University of Pennsylvania. I'm a junior. I play lacrosse, and I'm an offensive midi.
Well, fantastic. Great to see you. And right here at the end?
I'm Nolan Miller. I go to the University of Michigan where I play soccer. I'm a center back and defender.
Fantastic. Well, Nolan, it's great to see you. And because we're both from Michigan, go blue.
Go blue.
Okay, well, with that, I'd like to now take it to the part of the show that is one of my favorite parts. It's a game that we like to play called High-Low. And this is where we ask each of you the high point and the low point of your athletic career in college. Start over here.
Thank you. I think my low point was right when I first came in my freshman year. Playing soccer, men's soccer, you start the season right away in the fall. And as soon as I got there, we weren't very good. So going into a team that I had no clue and we weren't winning, it was hard to bond with guys, hard to bond with your teammates, your classrooms, and then with that, I had a hard time outside of soccer in school at Michigan. I didn't go to my last 2 years of high school. Something about me, so doing not much to go into to Michigan wasn't an easy jump there. So I struggled. The first year I struggled, and it was very hard. Leading to now, I say right now is my high point. Feeling good, playing good. Have a group around me that I really enjoy, and I'm enjoying life right now.
Well, fantastic. Can't wait to hear more about it and learn more about you. Paulie, what about you?
My low point was my freshman year. I broke my thumb, and it was right before our preseason scrimmages. And I missed 8 straight games. I came back on the 9th game, and I scored a goal, and that was my high point.
Fantastic, my man. Booyah to ya. How about over here?
So my low point was going into my sophomore year of high school. I had a knee injury, so it was really hard for me to kind of stay in my routine that I was normally in. But I would say my high point was coming into college last year, my freshman year, and earning my spot as a player and then starting all the MAC conference games.
Awesome. That's fantastic. Great job. And we can't wait to hear more about you. Isaiah Jones.
I feel like my low point was probably COVID time. It really wasn't easy to get offered or get to the next level, especially coming in from Tennessee and Nashville, it really wasn't that easy. So I feel like just going through that whole scenario and that time period was hard for me as a basketball player. And then my high point was definitely last year when we played Kentucky and won the game. That was the best feeling ever. And I feel like there's no other feeling unless I just remake it and do something even better than that.
Well, Zay, I'll let you in on a secret, and I think you know this. Your coach, guy by the name of Greg Campy, he's the longest tenured head coach at any school in Division I basketball. Have you heard of this?
Yes.
41 years starting the season, right?
41 years.
Well, he was on our podcast in season 4, and he said that the Kentucky win was the highlight of his entire coaching career. Okay. So that's awesome, and for you to be a part of that and have that as your high point, no one can argue that, my friend.
For sure, and it's going to be a 700th win, the first game of the season.
First game of the season, you guys are going to get the dub, and that'll be a 700th win?
Yes.
Oh, fantastic. And you know what we always say? You're just getting started. He's just getting started.
Yes, sir.
All right. 700 wins, and we're just getting started. I love that. All right, cool. Well, thanks for sharing it. We're just going to start kind of get into it. So you're all on campus, getting ready to go. It's the school year now. Our soccer players, you're actually in the middle of your seasons. The other two are training. But let's kind of talk about what your routine is, okay? Your students first. That's why it's student athletes, not athlete students, right? Your students first and athletes. You also have this opportunity, which we're a part of, which is NIL, name, image, likeness. And besides that, you can have other ways of earning income. And so you also have family responsibilities. You have this and that. So let's start with Paulie and tell us kind of how you juggle or manage, the day-to-day routine when you're at school, and maybe give us a little bit of that.
Yeah, so right now we're practicing at 3:30 to 6:30. So the morning's class time, and then practice times in the afternoon. So pretty much wake up, go to class at 8:30, finish up around 1, then head down to the field, get ready for practice, go see the trainers, make sure everything's feeling good, and then practice at 3:30. Then we lift afterwards, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
So that's off season.
Yeah.
And then when do you do your school work and spend family time or downtime, whatever else?
Yeah, in season I do my schoolwork. We have a lot of road trips, so on the bus and in hotels on the weekends. And then during the weekdays I do it kind of whenever I have free time. And that's kind of what my life is right now. My family's not from Philadelphia, so I don't get to really hang out with them during the season. But if they make it out to a game, we'll go get dinner after it or on a Sunday. We only play on Saturdays.
How many times a year do you get to come home? Is this usually holidays or maybe not even at all?
Get to come home during winter break and Thanksgiving break.
Okay. So it's pretty full schedule and 24/7.
Yeah, it's pretty full. Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll get more into it. Liv, what about you? Same question.
So we practice 1 to 3, kind of right in the middle of the day. So we can choose, we can do class before or after practice. Most of my classes are before, so I try to focus on school, and then when it's time to practice, I really focus in on that. And then sometimes we'll lift after, normally 3 times a week during in season, more off season. So I just try to focus on one thing at a time during the day.
Okay, fantastic. Nolan, what about you?
Routine's key for me. I like to follow a strict routine. And for us, practice times change, but I like to, get there ahead of time. Say we have a practice at 8 a.m. I like to be there at 7 a.m. with the trainers, go in the hot tubs, get the body right. Practice 8 to 10. I'll go lift after, sometimes with the team, sometimes just by myself. Got the ice tubs after that. 12 to 3, 12 to 4 is my class time. Just get through that part of the day a little bit. And then after that, it's how can I eat right? How can I recover for the next day?
Fantastic. We'll get more into it. Isaiah, what about you?
During my off season, it's real consistent with Campy. He likes everything in a certain time. He golfs a lot too, so everything has to be in perfect timing for him. But just going to the mornings, practice from 9 to 11-ish, and then you have weights, and that's when I'm really with my team. Sometimes I may work out early in the morning, but other than that, it's really just practice and weights, and then get the homework done because we have a summer class, and then make sure I eat. I make sure I eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and I try to eat between to keep my body weight the same all year. And then later on, I'll come back and shoot by myself. And then if I'm really feeling it, then I'll come in late at night, like 1 a.m. shoot. And that's about it for the off season. And then in season, I know it's a little more strict, but this year I have online classes, so it makes it a little easier. So I'll be able to work out in the mornings, practice still 9 to 12 from practice and lift, eat, work out again, make sure I got my classes done, and then work out later again that night. Same thing every day.
Full day, every day, 24/7, 7 days a week.
Yes.
Fantastic. Well, I don't know if you all know this, little known fact, I was also a student athlete back in the day, okay? We rode horses. And they didn't have cars. They didn't have anything back then. Okay, it was a long, long time ago. But I was proud to be the captain of the golf team at Schoolcraft College back in the day. Pre-NIL, pre-online classes. There was a lot different back then. But what we did have, and this again was a junior college, but we actually had like a study center and student teachers as well as regular faculty that would help us with our academics as either we were traveling so much at even our junior college that we would miss a class or certainly miss some tests. So before we get into kind of some other stuff, maybe talk about that, and I'll go back to you, Nolan, in terms of, again, what kind of support do you have? You know, are your games always around your school schedule so that you never miss class? Or, you know, how does it go with the support that you have and the student, I think we call it like the Student Resource Center, Student Athlete Resource Center. So do you have something like that at U of M?
Well, first of all, I'd say that my school schedule's around my games, not the other way around. So you're gonna miss time for games. That's how it always is. It's how can you build yourself back up so you don't miss that much information. So yeah, there's tutors. There's so many resources out there. If you need the help, it's so easy to get the help. It's just being the one to go out there and ask for it in the first place. But there's tutors, academic centers. A lot of times they bring someone on the road with us. So if you have exams, tests, things of that nature, you can do it on the road too.
Yeah, that's good. It's pretty helpful.
Ridiculously
100%.
helpful. Yeah.
That's awesome. Go back, Isaiah. What about you?
Honestly, we have a academic advisor that she's really good with us and communicates with us well. So just any type of help that we really honestly need, she'll either direct us to somebody or she'll be able to help us ourselves. And she's been great for me the last year and a half or the last school year and summer, and just built more of a way of me maturing in a way, because then she shows me how to do those certain things. I can do it myself instead of her just doing it for me. So just going to her, understanding that she's there to help. And then we also
What's her name? Let's give her a shout out.
Jen Dempster. She used to play at Oakland. She's on the wall too in Oakland. So she's a bucket for sure. But yeah, just going to her and getting an understanding of what I need to do and how to succeed in classes is the best thing.
Fantastic. Does she help how many people on your team? 12?
She's dominant for the women's basketball team, but I'm sure she helps other athletics too. So she probably has her hands full 24/7. Most of the time, somebody's in there having a meeting with her when you're trying to come see her anyway. So.
And again, you find it helpful. It's very helpful.
Very, very helpful.
That's great. That's awesome. I give that. Liv, what about you?
So we play games on Thursday and Sunday, and my school actually doesn't have class on Friday, which is super nice. But you definitely do miss a lot of class for the longer away trips. I think what really helps me is getting to know your professor and like using their office hours and getting close with them. And it also helps you in the long run because you can get reference notes from them and stuff. So
awesome. And Paulie, what about you?
Yeah, we have a lot of support. Freshman year, we're required to do 6 hours in the library every day. You have to swipe in, swipe out. And if you maintain a GPA above 3.0, you graduate from that and you don't have to go to 7 a.m. study hall anymore.
7 a.m. study hall?
You gotta go to 7 a.m.
That's
study
before you can even hit the gym or hit the court, hit the field?
Yeah.
All right. That's called the Ivy League for a reason.
You're right.
Booyah.
Yeah. And so then there's also tutors that we can get for any single class. And there's also teacher assistants you can meet with. Almost every class has a teacher's assistant. As well as tutors who tend to be like upperclassmen. And then inside our facility, there is its own library that you can go in, and it's mostly where the athletes study. So it's kind of like our own space, and it's really nice and close to the trainer. So if you need to go see a trainer when you're studying or something, you can go see more.
All right, fair enough. Liv, do you find that your professors are supportive? Like, I remember when I was playing, some of the professors actually kind of looked at you like, with, I don't know, an evil scowl, like you're interrupting, like, who do you think you are, and this and that. And they actually kind of like maybe were prejudicial, and they actually weren't supportive and encouraging. I imagine there are some, though, again, especially at U of M, because national championship, baby. You know what I mean? But at the same, and again, about beating Kentucky, so all of a sudden you can do what you want. I mean, for a hot minute. But
I hope so.
But anyway, like seriously, so Liv, do you find that the professors are like, hey, go do your thing, or you can't miss a class, or you better have a note? Like how, like what's it like? What's the support
Yeah,
network?
I'm sure there's certain professors that have that stereotype, but I haven't met anyone that has that. And all of my professors have been super helpful. It's basically just I have to communicate with them about what I miss or what I need help with, and they're super helpful always.
Okay, cool. Nolan, same question.
It depends on the professor. I think they eased up after the national championship. They see what it brings in the athletics. But you always get that one, older lady that's grilling you about something, not turning in the right notes or something like that. And then you have other ones. Like I took an NIL class. His name's Greg Dewey. Shout out Greg Dewey. But an unreal guy. Like, he came to like all of my games, would email me after games, just loved sports. And he teaches an NIL class, funny enough. But so there's a mix of both.
Fantastic. Good to know. Isaiah?
Yeah, I've never experienced that with a teacher just on you like that, but I will say that they're more lenient, more so because they know how busy we can get. And it's more so just you communicating with them. You can talk to the professor with some respect, then they'll show you respect back, and that's what builds the bond.
I like that. That's if you give them respect, they'll give it back to you. I think for a lot of young people, students, whether they're athletes or not, that happens in every class, no matter what it is. It's just your maturity level as a student, right? Isaiah, I'm going to ask you because I think you're the only one in this group that transferred schools. I actually think it's cool that you entered the portal and went through that. It seems to me like it's like a Star Trek or some kind of Star Wars like portal where you jump in and all that. And we've talked a little about it offline. But on a serious note, your other school, was it the same? Was it as generous, or was it a total different deal? Maybe talk about that.
Totally different deal. School-wise, it's just like they're not even really paying attention to the sports like that. Like, you have a few teachers that are invested into it, but not too many people are really invested into it. And like transferring in conference, it was just the best thing I ever did. I'm not gonna lie, that was another high, but Kentucky, you can't beat the Kentucky high. But definitely was another big experience for me because I went to another school that's 40 minutes away, and they have a Metro series because they're rivals, and it just made everything so much better. But yeah, at Detroit Mercy, it wasn't really the same vibe. You get a better feeling at Oakland. I feel like it's a more of a feeling of like you get to see everybody. I mean, you don't see the same person every day. You don't see the same person at Oakland every day, but at Detroit Mercy, I was seeing the same person 24/7. It just felt like a little small community.
It was like a high school kind of.
Yeah, like a high school,
right?
Honestly. Like, all the same teachers, like every athlete probably has the same teachers. Like, it's not a different mix-up or anything, variety.
So you're happy you made the move?
I'm definitely happy.
All right. Well, we're expecting big things this year because it beat Kentucky. I don't know who you're going to beat this year. It's got to be.
We're going to beat Arkansas, Kansas, Illinois. We're beating everybody.
Well, you definitely have Arkansas on the schedule. Do you have Kansas on the schedule?
Yes, we have Kansas.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll get. This is Team 2 of Great Lakes Wealth NIL. Maybe we'll get on the company jet.
Hey,
we'll get on
let's
our
go.
G5 and fly out to Arkansas. No promises. We'll see what happens. Paulie, what about you? What about the professors on staff at Penn?
Yeah, some of them are supportive. Honestly, most of the professors I've had weren't supportive. So there's no excused absences for missing for a sport event, or you can't miss for a practice. You have to go to class over practice in the Ivy League, and you can't get excused from a game. So it's up to the professor, and a lot of professors are like, you backdoored your way into this university, see ya. So it's kind of difficult with that. So you kind of have to take hits on your attendance grade in some classes, and some professors are really cool and understand and come to the games. So it is what it is, but it's a sacrifice that all the athletes are willing to take.
Understood. I won't ask all of you this, but I'll ask you in particular, the coaches, if they understand it that stringent, do they offer the support? Are they cool with you missing a practice, or is it the teachers versus the coach and staff, button heads all year long?
Yeah, my coach is very good with following compliance rules. I think if you miss, it's extremely illegal to miss class for practice. So we have to send in our class schedules early in advance, and our coach schedules around that. If there's a senior that has to take a class, then they can go to that class during practice. My coach completely understands that. And my coach is very understanding that it's kind of difficult to play a sport while also be a student in college. So.
Yeah, fantastic. And we're going to change subjects, but before we do, for any of you out there that are in high school and you might play on your high school team, but you also might play travel, you'll find the same situation and you might play even high school, just play multiple sports, one travel, one for the high school, and you have high school coaches that say you can't miss a practice or you're not going to play, or you have the travel coach that says you paid to be on this team. If you don't show, you can't play. And sometimes those are at exactly the same time. That I understand. So we won't get into the weeds on that, but you can see y'all smiling. You've been there, right? Yeah. Getting in the car with your parents or whoever and shuttling you from one to the other, and you're changing your practice jerseys in the car, crazy stuff, yeah. Right? All right, well, let's change subjects. We're going to go into college lifestyle. So we talked about, again, the balance of your class work and on the field work, but now it's kind of the lifestyle. It is the big baller status that you all have because you're all NIL, okay? And you are making 7-8 figures with your NIL deals, just not with us.
I wish.
Okay? So you are probably not in the dorm. You probably have a black Escalade, Uber service that picks you up to take you a block. And I'm just kind of teasing everyone out there. Relax, relax. But I think that's a misnomer. I think a lot of people think that all of a sudden, because you go to Oakland University and you beat Kentucky, that they're just making it rain on you. At University of Michigan, again, and at Penn, the donor base, the whatever base. I'm sorry that at Eastern no one talks about that yet. Actually, we take that back. You just built a $50 million golf center. So we're all going to go play Top Golf at EMU next week as a road trip. Okay. Again, I'm having some fun, but it's all serious. That's big money. And we did an episode last year called Big Money, Big NIL. And I don't know if that's the case or not. So again, I don't want you to reveal your deepest, darkest secrets, but maybe just talk about individually your lifestyle on campus. Are you rolling in it? Are you, you're hustling every dollar? Just the what's the vibe from what I just kind of said? And I'll start with our Ivy League friend here, Paulie.
I just moved into a house for the first time. I actually made a big sacrifice, and we did a spinner for picking rooms, and I got a good choice, and one of my friends didn't get as great of a choice, got the smallest room, offered to trade with me and pay my rent. So I took that up because, that's a lot of cash for 2 years of living. And I just try to make money whenever I can and save it, just to be comfortable and have some more freedom for when something arises and I want to do it or whatever.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's fantastic. Liv, what about you?
So we just moved into the on-campus dorms, but apartments right by our facilities. So we all get our own bedroom and bathroom, and they're super nice. I try to just save my money as much as I can and try to do any opportunities I have for money, I go for it.
So you are on scholarship at EMU? Yeah. Okay. And then that covers your tuition and board and books and all that stuff? Yeah. Do they give you some walking around money, whether it's from the team or a per diem they call it?
Yeah. So for we come early in the summer and we take a class and we're training all summer and they give us a per diem for the whole summer too. And then sometimes when you're not on a meal plan, you'll get more money too.
Okay, but is it enough where you've got extra money and you're, you're just investing in car washes and Taco Bells and stuff, or not really? It's you're kind of just a struggling college student, or maybe just somewhere in between.
Somewhere in between. I'm not a big investor yet, but I like to save my money.
Okay, fantastic. Isaiah, what about you?
I'm a big spender. I spend money. But
is it that NIL money?
We're not rolling in the money just because we beat Kentucky. But I mean, if anybody wants to, donate to the collective, we're here for it. But no, I worked hard for my NIL money since my freshman year because I know I have a bigger following, And I use TikTok and Instagram a lot, and it's helped me make at least some type of money to keep in my pocket most of the time. I would say I would want more, but like at the same time, it's enough for somebody that has a free scholarship, and still get a little money from school and stuff like that. So it's definitely a good thing. And then with the whole apartment thing, I live on campus, but it's an apartment on campus. And I'm still debating if I want to live off campus. That would be nice if I could get that, but they're so expensive in Rochester. But other than that, it's honestly just we don't make the most huge amount of money. We're trying to get there. Kempy's working hard, and I believe him because he really cares for the people, and he definitely doesn't want to lose players to the portal like we just did last year. So I can see him working hard for it. But that's the main thing, just building the collective and building it for the next year's team after this year.
Well, and I'm going to get to you, Nolan, in a second, but we're going to stay on that because one of the questions I'm going to ask in a minute is kind of, again, how did you get where you're at now, and then how you're going to get to the next level if that's where you want to go. And I can answer for you, it's hard work, all right? And it's talent, hopefully some talent, but it's hard work. And so Isaiah, talking to you earlier, and again, knowing Coach Campy, and he said it openly on the podcast, so there's no secrets, several of your teammates did go to other schools. They entered the portal, the same Star Wars, Star Trek.
Yeah,
I don't know where they ended up, but they ended up somewhere else, and they got very substantial NIL checks, if you want, whatever it's called. I don't know if they give checks or just zapped in their bank account, but they did have what we call a liquidity event. They got a financial payment to go to another school, and it was sizable. Let's say 500,000, 700,000, whatever it could be, which is a lot of money for anybody, especially someone in their late teens or early 20s. And I think these guys were like early 20s. But all that to say, you didn't just get it given to you. Like everyone here is going to say you've earned, and if the opportunity's there, even with your teammates, whatever the NIL is and collectives is one thing, but outside investment opportunities or deals you can strike, it's really based upon you and your brand. Is that about right?
It definitely is. I know Kempy doesn't really like it as much because not everybody has the money to be able to give to everybody and keep those players that we lost. But I mean, I understand them. Like, you never know what's going to happen in your future. Honestly, like, you should go for what you can get now, get that, and then still be able to get better and produce yourself better and better. And those two guys left. They had another year. We miss them, but at the same time, like, you never know, honestly. And I respect it because, like, they put in the 4 years, 5 years, however long they were at Oakland. They brought a regular season and a conference tournament championship. And then we had one of the biggest games of the year, this year. So you can't really beat that, honestly. And I understand Campy being mad, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure he understands too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think he's mad, but like, it frustrates.
It's frustrating. Yeah, everyone understands that. Nolan, before I let you answer the same question, I want to share a little bit of our story and our talk. When we first connected, we knew who you are. You have a fantastic resume at the University of Michigan in soccer. You've worked really hard on it. You said you missed 2 years of high school and all that stuff. We went to the same high school, by the way, Maple Pride, Seaholm. I don't know if you have the same pride for it or not, but
I don't know if I was there long enough for
right. Well, anyway, I know you
stuff.
spent some time, walked the same halls I did, so which is great. But you said, Dewey, I'm a college student. Dewey, I'm a college student. Yes, I go to the University of Michigan. Yes, we have a fantastic program. And yes, I have goals of going pro, and we'll talk about that. But you said, I'm a college student. But besides all that and understanding what that means in terms of the scholarship and money and your column wages, you have some other brands. You've done some side hustles. You have a brand you're trying to build that isn't just your face and kicking a soccer ball. Do you want to talk about that for a minute and kind of just what goes on with everything with you?
Well, first of all, I'm broke. So just for starters, I am a broke college kid, simple as. But on the other side of things, it's me and one of my buddies at Wake Forest who came together and thought, how can we make some more money on the side? How can we do things, put money in our pockets, and then after college have something else we can go back to? And that's where the idea of Solana Surf Club, which is my polo company, where that came out of. How can we make something for ourselves?
And what's the website?
www.solanasurfclub.com. Check it out for me. Look it up, hit us up, follow us on Instagram, all at Solana Surf Club. But what it is we went Miami spring break, normal spring break trip, and went to certain places and did certain things, and we all had our polos on, and at the end we were looking at each other like, wow, this polo looks really bad. Like, the collars were curving, things weren't looking right. So we thought, what else can we do different? what can we do to move on that? So we had an idea to put a silicone band in the collar, patent pending, by the way, but had an idea to do that, put a sunglass cleaner inside the shirt, did things to kind of spice up your normal polo. So yeah, it's another little thing I'm doing on the side right now. I'm working really hard on.
Now, does that get in the way of your studies or your athletic activities at U of M, and or do you have any pushback from anybody, from the university, or are they supportive, or do they not know or not care either way?
I like to keep my athletics separate. When I got to work out, I'm going to work out. When we got to recover. If I'm doing film, I'm doing film. So a lot of times it comes down to, hey, am I working on salon? Am I working my business? Am I doing schoolwork? It's a tough one that the professors probably wouldn't like, but try to balance it as much as I can, get the best grades I can. But yeah, my coach is supportive, family is supportive, everyone's supportive of it.
Awesome, and there's no issues. You can live your best life and take care of your business.
Just making polos.
Fantastic, making polos. Love it. All right, so we're going to stay on this topic, and then we're going to jump to a few more. But this next one is, how do you manage your finances and your money in college? Meaning, whether you're broke as Nolan Miller is, so let's get him some more NIL deals, please. Let's buy some of those polos, to where you're Isaiah Jones, where you're doing okay, but you're still living on campus, and your Liv still also doing okay, but she's grinding, and Paulie doing the same thing, right? So wherever you are, it's about the money that you're getting now. Okay, so whether that's $5, $50, $500, $5,000, whatever it is. How are you managing that, and who helps to educate you and share with you what it is like to be financially responsible? And that's about the money that you might have now, but also, just with learning about investing, and whether that's to keep it in cash. Obviously, there's tons of people that claim to be financial gurus on TikTok. I don't know if you ever see these, Zeke? Yeah. Zeke, why do they call you Zeke?
Oh, no. People call me that too. It's understandable.
Huh?
As people call me that too.
They call you Zeke?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's Zay, Zurich, and Zeke.
Yeah.
All right, my man. I love it. But, right, so again, very serious. So with what we do, and we certainly have a TikTok channel, but we just do clips of these interviews. I'm not on there promoting, how you can make money and invest like a billionaire does and hide your estate taxes from the IRS and stuff. I don't know if you've seen any of those on there.
It's not you.
Okay. What's that?
That's not you.
That's not me doing that. No, we have another channel that we do it, and we do it the right way. And so this is part of it. So I am kind of, very curious as to whether it's a family member, whether it's friends, maybe it's other athletes that are on your team. Maybe it's from shows like ours, which would be great. Maybe nobody. Maybe it's the classes. Again, we talked before about the NIL class that you took, and some of the, some of the ideas that came from that. So Liv, I'm going to start with you though. Again, how do you learn about financial matters right now?
My dad is a big business guy, so he really plays a big role in helping me with my money and teaching me how to save it, teaching me when to spend it.
Got it. And so is that where it's something that you're interested in? You don't have to have a degree in finance to be interested, or is it something like, no, I just again, you have parents, you're still a young adult, so you have your responsibilities to play soccer and to get good grades, right? So is that something that you try to get involved and understand, or, not too much, or maybe somewhere in the middle?
Yeah, I'm definitely interested. And obviously when money hits your bank account, it's a good feeling. And when you see your savings account, it's a good feeling when, you're putting in the work and then you're saving your money, and it's good to know that you have something to look back on.
Fantastic. Paulie, what about you? So here's the deal, because you said, that money can be tight, and you just traded a room for a couple extra bucks, but you go to the University of Pennsylvania in the Ivy League, where again, there's generational money on campus or just in that town, and the Wharton School of Business. I'm not sure if you heard of this place. Yeah, okay, it's on campus. So again, no matter whether you're, want to have a degree in philosophy, maybe philosophy of money, or you want to have it in anything that has nothing to do with money, history to actual finance, who teaches you about money matters?
All right, so I'm a political science major, but I can take classes in Wharton. There's a class taught by an ex-NFL player, Brian Peterson, played for the Ravens for 10 years. He went to the Penn and was in Wharton. And he comes back and he teaches. He has his own program called Life 101, which is targeted towards high school students. But he filmed our class at the University of Pennsylvania to allow high schoolers to have access to it. So he was very big in setting up like a Roth IRA for the whole class and kind of teaching us about retirement, which is kind of crazy as college students worrying about retirement. And then our alumni come back. Some of them are private bankers, wealth managers, or just investment bankers. And they come back and they really do a great job in educating us, as well as whatever extra steps we want to take. There's they have slideshows and pamphlets for us to look at getting a credit card and making sure we're not applying to 17 credit cards in the same day, and just looking out for us kind of. So the alumni, the school, and you can kind of get whatever you want when you go your.
Is it something where you have to really engage with it though, and you have to learn and want to learn, or it's kind of they just give you this stuff and it either goes over your head, or I don't know, you hand it to them and they do it, or do you again use your parents, use adults to do it for you, the heavy lifting, or you kind of run it all yourself?
Yeah, so it's the adults pretty much. Like the alumni will come back. Most of them are in New York on Wall Street, and they'll come back. And the first week I got to Penn, we were put into a classroom from 9 to 3, and we're just being told about finance. None of us knew what it was, and just learning all about this different stuff and credit cards and how to save your money, how to make sure to prevent identity theft, all these different things, and then. Kind of from there, it's just like, all right, I guess this is what everyone does here, and try and educate ourselves whenever we can.
Just like brush your teeth, comb your hair, and then open a Roth IRA.
Yep.
Kind of like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Buy some Bitcoins.
Okay. Well, you can maybe buy a half a Bitcoin. Okay. I don't even know about that, but a little bit of a Bitcoin is okay. I'll say that on the record. Everyone can have a little bit of a speculative investment, and that's what Bitcoin is. Nolan, what about you? Again, with the business you have, again, what is your support network, or who is part of your support network to help on the financial matters?
Yeah. So I'm in the business school at Michigan. I'm in Ross. So that community I have around me is a pretty big influence on me. I would say mostly, like contrary to what you said, it's not the parents or the alumni coming back, it's just my peers. There's some smart people in this world. People that are smarter than me, they're in this school. And got your investment bankers, got your venture capital guys, got your PE guys, private equity guys, and they're pretty sharp on their stuff. So like if I need help, I put money away, I put it in an index, I have my portfolio, but if I need certain help with things, I got my guys. And they'll be willing to help me.
Nolan, I don't know your details at all, but I'm going to say that maybe you're kind of following the Mark Cuban program, where you pretend to be a broke college student because you are investing and putting all the money you have away. And I'm not saying that in a negative way, because everybody out there listening who is a college student, and even adults, frankly, you need to have your money put away into things so you can't touch it day to day, and invest it. And then your monthly budget should be on the money that you have from those wages or income or the per diems that you get. But you should pretend to be broke and in college, even when you're not broke and out of college. And that's even Warren Buffett has that. So I don't know if you want to comment on that, but
you're spot on there. It's easy to be broke in college. It's not easy to be broke when you're older in life. So
fantastic. See, the guys got to read between the lines a little bit here on the What Do We Do podcast. Zerk, what about you? I'm going to go with all your nicknames in the show. So Zerk, what about you with who helps navigate you through the financial minefields that are out there?
I would say it was like 3 different groups of things. It would be like my parents, which they tell me always pay your bills first. Honestly, I know that's obvious, but some people will try to do other things than pay their bills, and then try to pay their bills on that day, always pay your bills first. And then honestly, with my mom being a single mom, seeing her growth of just being able to take care of me is her being able to do that, it shows me a lot, and I ask her questions and stuff like that. And for her to be able to provide for me whatever I want at the times, it's a big help. And also my dad, he's always been into a business type of thing. He owns his own lawn mowing business and stuff like that. So I always ask for tips and tricks for just saving, and more so just making money, because he's always big on the next move to make some money. The second person I would say is my old post-grad coach. His name is Mo Spates. He played in the NBA for the Warriors, won a championship and all. And he has a championship at Florida too. He's one of them ones. But he's been to the highest level in basketball. He did everything, and then now he owns so many businesses and puts his effort in it while he's a college coach too at USF. So he shows me another world of how to balance the sports with the real world and then put it all together and embrace it and create your own type of things. And then the last person I would say, or not person, but people I would say would be my friends that are at the level I want to be. Like, I have a lot of pro friends, and just understanding of how, like, yeah, they get to live the lifestyle, but they also don't just spend all the time. And I used to want to spend all the time anytime I got some money when I was younger, but now I've understood and I've been able to save a lot more and understand how to not worry about what I want to buy, but get the things I need more so.
Yeah, fantastic. And that's so spot on. You are in a world where you're at that you will see those people that played pro. You are surrounded by some of the greatest minds of the Western civilization in finance at Wharton, and certainly the Ross School of Business in Ann Arbor. But you hopefully also pay attention to those that were a little too arrogant, those that were a little caught up. They thought they had it. They thought the deal was coming, or they got the deal and then they, blew it. It all went bye-bye. They put it all into an investment that went poof and then went to the portal. The investment went to the portal, but there was nothing on the other side. You know what I mean? So again, so I'll just leave it at that. Hopefully, again, as you continue to grow, and anyone out there listening and watching, same thing. Find your network and listen to your network and ask questions, but also don't go into things blindly, and don't think just because someone else on the surface is saying it's happening, maybe beneath the surface it's not happening. They're all fake. There's a lot of that too. So just be aware. But those are good answers, and I love it. Love that you appreciated enough to share that with us. So I'm going to pivot to, this is actually my favorite part of the show, Liv. Like, this is without a doubt my favorite part of the show. Do you know what it is?
No.
Okay. Well, you're about to find out. Okay. So this whole show is what do we do? Okay. But I'm telling you, sometimes people don't want to know what do we do. They kind of get sick of hearing what do we do, and they want to know what somebody else does. And we just talked about, you have some fantastic networks out there. But for right now, this segment is called What Do You Do? What do Nolan do? What do Paulie do? What do Liv do? And what do Isaiah, Zeke, Zerk, Zay? That's my favorite, is Zay. You know that. So what do you do? And what that means is, what would you go back and tell your younger self, or those in high school right now who have goals and ambitions of being D1, Division I athletes at universities across the country? So we're not going to talk about financial matters per se, unless it pertains to the athletic part. But let's get back to you being student athletes on campus at the universities that you're at. What do Nolan do?
Yeah, what I'll say is, the first thing I'd have someone younger than me do is confirm you love the game. Because you might think, you love soccer, you love lacrosse, but you don't really know that until you're doing it every single day, 3-4 sessions a day. Then it's like, do I really love it? Do I really love this? Or would I rather be, living a normal high school, living a normal college life? You know what I mean? So you need that confirmation that this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm in for. Then after that, it just comes down to work. Finding the right group around you. It's a lot easier to do things with people when you have you're training with a friend of yours, or training with a group of yours. It's a lot easier to get up and do things like that than doing it by yourself, but got to do it by yourself at times too. How can you get 3 sessions in a day? How can you get 4 sessions in a day? How can you, switch your schedule up a little bit in high school, maybe get it out in the right times and get that session in, get that run in, just do all the little extra things you can.
Sacrifice for the passion that you have to have.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? Awesome. Thank you for that. Now, what do Liv do?
I would tell my younger self that you're going to have to sacrifice a lot, but you can dream big and always make goals for yourself. Definitely never take your time in your sport for granted, because tomorrow's not promised, and just have fun and enjoy it while it lasts.
Awesome. Fantastic. Love that. What do Paulie do?
I think a big thing about, if I was to go back and tell my younger self something, us three, we were recruited during COVID. I would say I was recruited during junior year. We weren't allowed to speak to our college coaches until we showed up to school, pretty much. So, I mean, that's a huge worry, but I think just trust the process, put the work in, go the extra mile, and you're going to need to make sacrifices. And if you're willing to make those sacrifices, I think good things are going to come. And sacrificing going out on like Halloween or going to work out is going to work out is going to pay off way better than any party or any skipped workout can really do. So that's what I'd say. And that's what our coach really emphasizes too.
Fantastic. Appreciate that, Paulie. And what do Isaiah do?
I would tell my younger self, get off the game so much. I was a big gamer as a kid, and like I had talent, but at the same time, like I feel like I just wasn't in the gym enough. And I would just tell them, just get off the game and just like explore and like just go have fun instead of just staying to yourself. I feel like that would have changed me a little bit and made me like probably more open to a lot of things. But yeah, mostly just changing about the way I was so to myself so much. And then just get in the gym. I feel like you had the talent and you didn't put in enough work to embrace that talent. And just come in with confidence and don't get overwhelmed.
But put in the work.
Yeah, put in the work.
Put in the work.
Put in the work is the main thing.
It ain't going to be easy.
Yeah.
Right?
Be easy.
Fantastic. All right, well, appreciate that. Okay, so we're going to slowly but surely wrap up the show. The next question I have is back to the basics. We're all here because of Great Lakes Wealth, the parent company of the What Do We Do podcast. And I'm very proud to be formally affiliated with all of you. You are part of what we're calling Team 2 of our NIL Student Athlete Ambassador Program. And so with that, didn't rehearse this at all, but I'd like to kind of have you each just say, you know, what attracted you to the opportunity to work with us at Great Lakes Wealth and the rest of your teammates here for Team 2. And Liv, we'll start with you this time.
I think you reaching out to me really intrigued me because a lot of NIL deals, like you can go on a website or certain schools like provide different NIL deals, but you reaching out and like being interested in me really like intrigued me to do this opportunity. And I'm just grateful that you reached out and found me, and I'm happy to be here. So
awesome. Well, we're happy to have you too. So booyah to ya. Zeke, what about you?
It would be the first impression, honestly. When I first met you, full of energy, you know what I'm saying? And we just had a great conversation right then and there. And then you're close with Campy. Campy, like, yeah, he's a nice guy to everybody, but at the same time, like he won't introduce you to anybody unless he really cares for them. And that just means a lot to me because I care for Campy a lot. So it just shows a bit more respect just knowing that you're so close to him, and then just the conversation we had when I first met you.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that, and booyah to ya. I love that. Nolan, what about you?
Yeah, I'm just going to echo what these two said. Just who you are. You know, it's Great Lakes Wealth. It's what do we do. It's you being a good person and a good financial mind, and I just wanted to have that relationship on top of everything else.
Well, fantastic. I'll give you one as well. Booyah to ya. And as we always say, we're just getting started. Paulie, what about you?
Yeah, so I initially ran into you at the Rocket Mortgage Golf, and then
you were stalking me. You were hunting me down, like Mr. Stuffin, Mr. Stuffin. No, not really.
Well, we had a great conversation. I DM'd you on Instagram, I think, and then we just started talking from there. And I think something that really could be overlooked in an NIL deal is who that person knows and who Dewey knows. He's been in the industry for 30 plus years or 20 plus years.
Yeah, let's keep it in the 20s.
Yeah.
Let's keep it in the 20s, but we're getting there.
Around 20
close
years.
to 30. Close to 30.
Close to 30 years. He's
Yeah.
been for close to 30 years,
Yeah.
and over time that really adds up. So I think that's a great way to expand our networks, as well as being able to kind of do something in the community. And I think it's just a great experience. I'm really happy to be here.
Well, appreciate that. We're very happy to have you here too. Booyah to ya. Okay, well, thank you for indulging in that and sharing that with the world out there that's watching and listening to this podcast. Liv, we're going to change to what's next, okay? And this is for everyone, but we'll start with Liv. What is next? You have a few more years of school, and your season is just getting started, and the school year for all of you is just getting started. But what's next for you at Eastern Michigan? Or at your time in college, maybe you enter a portal watch out, coach. You never know what happens, right? And then after that, we will come back and talk about road to pro and what might that look like. But what's next for your college days?
Yeah, the big thing for this season is win a MAC championship. And our team is like really focused on that, and we wanna win a championship. I would say for after my years at Eastern, I want to go into pre-PA. So I would love to play semi-pro during my gap year at that time. But for pre-PA, like when I get into PA school, I'm going to have to focus on that for sure.
Awesome. Well, best of luck, and we'll be cheering for you. And as I've said before, you're just getting started. Okay, Nolan, what about you over there? What are your goals, short term, medium term, and long term?
Long term, I want to go pro. So short term, how do I get there? I think it comes from team success, having a good year this year, being a voice, being a leader on that team, just continuing working day by day, just because there's something bigger than what I want to do now. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Fantastic. Well, again, best of luck. We'll be pulling for you, and we got our eyes on you because you're just getting started. Fantastic. Paulie, what about you?
Yeah, so my short-term goal is to get an internship for next summer and just get that out of the way. A lot of people I know already have it. It's a pretty competitive culture at school, so it's stressful at times, but we'll see what happens. Then medium-term goal is win the Ivy League and make it to the Final Four of the tournament, and then win the national championship. We've got a lot of boys coming back, and we're getting really hungry. And then long-term goal is just have a good time, enjoy life, and be fiscally responsible.
I like that. Be fiscally responsible, be physically responsible. We always say that health is wealth, right? So you can go back and relax and enjoy whatever you said. Just enjoy it after you've saved it, and then you're on your way, right? So put it in the right order.
Obviously, that's going to be after a lot of work and sacrifice, but one day my Roth IRA will pay off.
My man, the Roth IRA. I can't say that loud enough. That's fantastic. And Isaiah, what about you?
I feel like my short-term goal is really just this next year, after coming off a big year, coming in, being more like a leader, just being able to provide the new people that came in just the same guidance that I got last year, and hopefully win back-to-back championships and get back to the tournament. School-wise, I want to have a great year. I feel like last year I had an okay year, but I feel like I can pick it up this year. And another short-term goal is just getting my name out there for like pro life. I want to get to the NBA, so that's definitely a thought, and to get on the draft boards or even just get into the talks. And then long-term goal is to have a great rest of college, pro life, and just live life. I want to travel after I get done with everything. I don't see myself playing more than 10 years max, honestly, but just want to just get a feel for everything and just live life, honestly. I feel like I missed out a lot on that because I play so much sports. I've been traveling all my life with sports, so I don't really get to just travel without sports. So that was the main thing, just being able to live life happy.
Well, I appreciate that. And a lot of athletes, I don't know the statistics for basketball or football or any sport, but most athletes at the pro level, their career is over, unless you're Tom Brady, at like 35, right? Maybe 40, but you put in so much work in your 20s. And if you save in those contracts and you have investment professionals that help you all along the way, you truly are set up for life. And so you've grinded in 10 years the same that most Americans or people grinded for 30 or 40 years. So you absolutely earned the right because you worked your tails off when everyone else was gaming. They were going on spring break. They were kind of just, hitting the party on a Friday night, and you were in the weight room. So don't ever, ever forget that you grind now, and you will be way ahead of your peer group later on. I would argue you might be ahead of them now, and that's not a disrespect to any of them. Everyone's got their own path to follow. But that would be my kind of 2 cents on it. So keep that eye of the tiger, keep that focus, and know that, again, one day you'll be traveling and knowing that you did all the hard work while the rest are still grinding. Fair enough?
Sir.
Yeah, so keep that eye of the tiger and that dream alive. With that, the show is basically over. So I'm going to go down the road and let you each just have any closing comments, anything else you want to share about your clothing line, maybe give your social media handles. How can people check you out, follow you? I'll tell you that ours is the whatdowedopodcast.com to learn all about all of our episodes and the the intent of the show and everything that we do is at whatdowedopodcast.com. Check out this episode wherever you find your podcast, but also on YouTube. Follow us on Spotify, on Apple iTunes, as well as YouTube. And then we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook for the older folks. Okay, we got a little LinkedIn for you business leaders, and we actually have TikTok. So wherever you're at, please join us and follow us, subscribe, share, leave a comment. As we say, together, everyone achieves more, and we truly believe that. But Nolan, how about you? Any last comments and share with the world?
Yeah, just look out for my personal Instagram at nolan.miller_. Again, check out my polos. Hopefully you get to check them out soon. But if you want a polo that doesn't fold, I'm your guy. So look at that.
Fantastic. Have a wonderful season at University of Michigan on the pitch and also in the classroom and everything else you're doing. Okay, best of luck, and we'll certainly be following you. Paulie, what about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna need to check out his polos. I'm sick of going anywhere and having the thing like go inside the shirt or just flip up, have someone else pull it down. You guys should get into button downs too.
Yeah, thank you, man.
But yeah, check them out. That sounds sick. And yeah, just keep working hard. That's it.
Social media?
My Instagram is Paulie Fortino. Just no underscore, just straight.
Just go to UPenn Athletics and check out Paulie Fortino, my guy. Yeah. Booyah. Liv, what about you?
You can follow me on Instagram at olivia.sipsock. I'm super grateful for this opportunity and thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We can't wait to follow you this year on the pitch and everywhere else. Isaiah Jones, let's end it with you, my friend.
You can follow me on Instagram, Isaiah with 2 H's and then .Jones with 2 S's. And then my TikTok is Zurkeo, Zurkeo. And yeah, follow for more.
Follow for more. Well, with that, as I always say to wrap up the show, live your best life, be radically generous, a great big booyah to ya. And this is season 5, episode 1, but we're just getting started. If you've made it this far through the episode, thank you for your time. It is truly one of the greatest investments you can make into your financial future. And believe it or not, only about 24% of those who watch this video actually are subscribed to our YouTube channel. And we want to get that up to 50% before the season ends. So if you're already not subscribed to our channel, please subscribe and also like this video, as well as turn on your notifications. That's the little bell, so you're ready when the next episode drops, because we're just getting started. Booyah!
The opinions expressed in this program are for general information purposes only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual or any specific security. It's only intended to provide education about the financial industry. To determine which investments may be appropriate for you, consult your financial advisor prior to investing. Any past performance discussed during this program is no guarantee of future results. Any indices referenced for comparison are unmanaged and cannot be invested into directly. As always, please remember investing involves risks and possible loss of principal capital. Please seek advice from a licensed professional.